Okay. You're looking at the original script for the program. It's actually in a bound volume of scripts, and if you look at the side, it will tell you it's a bound volume of scripts from January 4th, 1950 to March 29th, 1950. These scripts were the personal copies of John Goodell, who was the original producer on the show. And recently, this book and a second one showed up on eBay for sale. Apparently, someone related to or someone who knows John Goodell, or somehow they made it to eBay. So somebody was cleaning out some books somewhere, and they made it to eBay, and they were up for sale on eBay. And I bought both volumes. I do already have some original You Bet Your Life scripts, but I had never had any in the actual bound volumes made for one of the participants in the show, John Goodell being the producer. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to follow along with John Goodell's personal copy of the script and see how that compares to the actual broadcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is tree, T-R-E-E.
Really?
You bet your life. And here he is, the one, the only...
Groucho! When did he get out? Oh, that's me, Groucho Marx! Well, here I am again, starting off the new year with a new sponsor. Now, before we go any further, I want everybody to run down to the corner and say hello to your DeSoto Plymouth dealer. As long as you're down there, you might as well buy one. George Fenneman, who's first to take a whack at the thumb? Say, the Admiral looks a little nervous, too. Maybe he's never been this close to a sailor. Fred, I'll call you Fred. You don't want me to keep calling you Admiral, do you?
No.
You're just wearing your suit around the house and... This is not said in any derogatory sense, Fred, but what kind of an admiral are you?
Well, I'm what they call a full admiral.
You mean you just ate? What other kind of admirals are there? Empty admirals?
No, they have
Fred, would you enlighten me? What kind of admirals are there?
vice admirals.
Vice. Well, that sounds very interesting. John, what is your title in the Navy?
Seaman apprentice.
How long have you been in the service?
Several months.
And what did you start out with? Huh?
It's very obvious in reading this that Groucho was good at ad-libbing, yes, and in fact he's so good that there are times when they have jokes in here that are written for him that he just refuses to say, most likely because he didn't like the joke, and he will say something different. And then sometimes he does say the joke as it's written in the script. So I guess he had full discretion to look at those cards, and the way I understand it, it wasn't a actual script that he was able to look at during the recording. It would be like cue cards on a television show, and Bernie Smith or one of the production people would be just off camera with all of this stuff written out in large type so that Groucho could be looking what you think he's looking at the contestants, but he's actually looking just to the left or just to the right, and he's seeing what he's supposed to say. Now, again, he didn't always follow it, but it's fun to see what he did and what he didn't do. And usually, if you listen very carefully to his voice and inflections, you can tell when he's reading the pre-recorded joke and when it is an actual ad-lib. You just have to really, really be on it with listening to his voice and inflections. Also, George Fenneman's commercials for the show do not appear anywhere in the script. So those were written separately, probably recorded separately, and then edited in to the broadcast as it was done. So this gives you a little insight into You Bet Your Life, which I'm sure almost none of you ever knew this stuff. I knew some of it just from my time with Groucho and working on the book, The Secret Word is Groucho, in 1976. But I didn't have any scripts to compare to back then. I don't know that I don't know that we had any. I don't remember that at all. I know I never saw any scripts, but in the ensuing years, I was able to pick up a few scripts here and there from people who had them. So I did have a few. But this new find with this volume of all these scripts, actually 2 volumes, makes it quite interesting and quite fun to be able to follow along with the show. So maybe we'll figure out a way to do that for the future, where you can see the script as they're doing the show and see for yourself and follow along. It'll be the video Good Old Days of Radio show for that particular episode.